Learn about grants, loans, and direct payments at any income. Now, the financial experts aren't going to tell you about this because they can't make any money.
That's Matthew Lesko, who, if you were sleeping or something one night and suddenly he starts yelling on your TV, it may have woken you up from a dead sleep. But he's on the phone with us. Morning, Matthew.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great. Good to have you on because I know, not only here in Illinois, we've got our own budget mess that's going on, and nobody's really sure how this is going to play out in the national stuff, and we're watching Wisconsin, and it just goes on and on. And did we create this mess ourselves?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 67 years old. I've been following Washington stuff and politics for 30-some years.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I see, in the long term, nothing really changes substantially. It's like driving an aircraft carrier, I mean, I was in the Navy, and there's no such thing as a sharp turn. You can't do a wheelie or anything like that.
Right.
So all we're fighting over is, degrees, 2, 3, after people complaining about the budget, everybody's going to say cut. Tell you the truth, I bet next year we still have an increase somehow.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to increase. Just how much and where, and everybody complains about their little thing, and the other guy's thing isn't worthwhile. This is more important than my thing, Well,
and you hear one person on one side say, "Okay, we've made this great thing. We're gonna cut $100 million."
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't do anything.
Oh man, $100 million in this town is nothing. I mean, to me, nobody's serious about the budget until you talk about, the Department of Health and Human Services and the Department of Defense. All the rest is peanuts. And none of them want to talk about those things.
So that's where the bulk of the money is going.
Yeah. So they're just fooling themselves, or they're rallying their constituencies. It's a time to talk about their special interests on both sides. And instead of solving the damn problem. Actually, I was thinking the other day, I have actually there's two things. I have a scholarship fund I started, a local community college called I Don't Need My Government Money Scholarship Fund.
Wow.
Because, see, we have so many people getting government money, don't need it. Like Social Security. Now, I'm old enough to get Social Security, so they can give me $2,500 a month. I don't need the stuff.
Right.
I got a nice business. I live well. And what the heck? But I'll never give it back to the government, right?
No, of course not. And that's what's so amazing. What could happen, because you've made a career out of finding some pretty remarkable government grants and loans.
But see, what I'm trying to do is embarrass, people that don't need money that are getting it from the government. It's all legal. I mean, we have millionaires where I live. These millionaire lawyers downtown in Washington making $1 million, being lobbyists. And they're getting Social Security, $200. And to them, these guys getting $2,500 is like 3 lunches down at some fancy restaurant downtown. And a kid could go to college at the community college. So that's why at a community college for $1,000, you go to college, man. And I mean, that's where we should be putting the money.
Absolutely.
Or here's another thing. Oh, first of all, there's about 60,000 millionaires who get that kind of money. Wow. Now, I found about 15,000 people making $500,000 or more that are getting unemployment insurance. Could you imagine you're making $500,000 and getting unemployment?
How does that even happen? I mean, what's the
I mean, but it's like, well, here's the interesting fact. Corporations, 3/4 of corporations. This is a GAO, General Accounting Office, or whatever they call it. They keep changing my name. That's probably getting an old fart. You used the name been using 20 years ago. That shows 3/4 of businesses paid 0 taxes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, but all the stuff is legal, but it's just not right.
It's all legal. It's not right, and yet it's there, and there's no sign of it going away.
Yeah, no,
we sit here, we can pound our fists, and we can get frustrated on it, and even the politicians do, but they just keep re-upping it every year. And
absolutely. It's just how much and where, and that's too bad because I think it's. I mean, we all know we face serious problems, in the future in this country. We're going to be we're going to become a second-rate nation pretty soon if we don't get our act together.
Well, I guess the question, how long before we're all experiencing something like Wisconsin is experiencing? Because you can only sustain that so long.
Well, I mean, you're right. I mean, in doing this some data, I mean, it's not only the wages, but see, I mean. My understanding, I don't know the detail, but they're fighting over whether we should have a union or not, whether we should cut the budget.
But it seems like a lot of this came to a head because there was just so much spending and no much and nothing coming back in.
There is a lot of fraud there. I mean, I've seen, like, particularly in getting some data out of Ohio and New York, I've been looking at recently, where people, you could be a government bureaucrat, retire after 30 years as some big official in the school system, get a pension of about $200,000 a year, go back on the payroll the next day.
Wow.
For another $150,000 or whatever it is.
And still collect your pension.
Yeah, and get it twice.
That's an
impossible. This town, we have people retiring from the military, get a pension, go back on work for the federal government, get another pension, retire with 2-3 pensions before they're finished.
That's an impossible scenario. I mean, it's got to fall apart at some point.
I know.
Wow, that's incredible. That is really incredible.
So there are structures that have to be looked at, but I mean, to look at the finances and say, well, this is a good time just to get rid of unions. I mean, to me, that's switching the argument.
Well, and I've heard you say, if you average it out, the average household could get $11,000 from the government. And
that's what's going. And there's some people need it, and some people that it's probably interesting program. I mean, like, to me, education. What could be better than that? Mm-hmm. We got so many things wrong with this country. And it seems like the one thing that really invest in is yourself, individuals, our resources, human capital.
We're talking with Matthew Lesko, and give your website, Matthew. How do people find you?
Lesko.com, Lesko. And you can see a new... Actually, I just came up, you'll see it now. I got a tax rap video.
Great. Everybody's got a rap song. Everybody's got a rap song.
I'm rapping there, and my video guy he does some real rap videos, so he sprinkled in some sexy chicks and they're dancing with me and everything.
It's good to be Matthew Lesko, isn't it?
I mean, it is fun, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Man, I'm a schmuck from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Barely got out of Marquette, Michigan. Yeah, Marquette, in Milwaukee. Marquette University. Yeah, I flunked English in college, and that's what.
And geography, apparently.
My first book made the New York Times bestseller. I love calling those Jesuits.
Look what I did.
Right.
Matthew, it's always great to have you on.
Well, thanks for having me, guys.
And people can contact you at your website, lesko.com, and find out, because there's money out there to be had.
Absolutely.